So the year is quickly drawing to a close, and I thought I'd take some time to give you some insight as to what kind of videos I have planned for 2015. Keep in mind that this lineup is not at all finalized. I'm not promising that everything discussed here will actually go on to become a finished product. Anything can happen during production that could force me to make changes or even flat out cancel a project. I would love for every video here to actually get made, but there's just no way to know for sure one way or the other at the moment. Likewise, this is also by no means all that I'm going to be doing next year. These are just some general ideas I have, and more likely than not, I'll end up producing more content that I didn't even discuss here. Bottom line is that nothing is set in stone or guaranteed to be made. Please keep that in mind as you watch this video. I want to say that analyses will be making a return next year, but I don't have many ideas for stuff to analyze at the moment. If possible, I would like to move away from doing video games, as that seems to be the bulk of what I analyzed this past year, and I don't want my analyses to turn into some generic game review segment on my channel. I like to keep things original, so I have interest in analyzing content in other mediums besides gaming, such as movies, TV shows, books, etc. However, I just don't know how I would approach analyzing such mediums at this time. If I can't find a way to make it work, I do always have video games to fall back on, but I'm going to be very picky about what games I analyze. All I really know for sure is that I enjoy analyzing topics that have some degree of controversy. I like being able to give my own unique angle or viewpoint on something. It's why I analyzed PlayStation All-Stars, Sonic Generations, The Last of Us, and Super Mario 3D World. There was some debate about the quality of each of these games, and I have found I had something unique to say about all of them. If a game is overwhelmingly praised or panned, and I agree with the general consensus, there's no point in me analyzing it because I would be simply regurgitating what's already been said. That's why I would prefer not analyzing every big AAA game or movie that comes out next year. Unless I have something unique or interesting to say about it, you shouldn't expect a full-on analysis of it. On a similar note, I've been getting a lot of questions about whether or not I'll be doing an analysis on Super Smash Bros. For Wii U, and I can see why people are asking this. This game alone pretty much devoured my video lineup for the second half of 2014, and it would seem pretty weird to build up my anticipation for the game all this time without any sort of payoff or conclusion to draw in the end. A video detailing my impressions upon actually playing the game seems like the perfect way to bring it all to a close. As much sense as it would make though, I'm probably not going to do an analysis. And the reason for that is because from where I'm standing, there is absolutely nothing I can say about this game that has not been said before. If you cared about Smash at all and cared enough to watch my videos about it, you already know what makes Super Smash Bros. So great. You know why you were looking forward to the game, and you really don't need me to tell you if it was good or not, because you're probably already playing it. I could ramble, rave, praise, gush, and vent about this game until my head falls off, but I wouldn't be contributing anything new to the discussion. Now don't get me wrong, I love talking about Smash, believe me, but there's really no point in me recording myself saying something you already know or already believe yourself. Sure, there is a lot of controversy around the game with the clones and the Omega versions of each stage, and the casual versus competitive, melee versus non-melee engine, advanced techniques, etc. But I really have nothing new or interesting to bring to the table about any of this stuff. I'm just playing Smash Bros. The way I always have, and very little has actually changed. That's not to say that I'll never talk about this game ever again. This could very well change. Maybe one day I will find something interesting to say about it. Maybe one day I'll do a throwback to my old Brawl spam rant and talk about how annoying Pit and Pikachu still are, or something like that. I don't know. But for now, I have no plans for any major Smash Bros. Video. I'm sorry if you were looking forward to something, but I've got nothing in the works because I really have nothing worthwhile to say, at least in my opinion. This is pretty much it for Smash stuff until further notice. Having said all of this, I recently did come up with two major ideas for things to analyze next year, and despite what I just said about moving on to other mediums, these two ideas are both video games. The first isn't so much my idea, but it's more of an agreement. A good friend of mine recently asked me to analyze a specific video game he was passionate about because he felt it needed more attention. He actually convinced me to play the game myself, and after some consideration, I did come up with some interesting things I could say about the game. So we struck a deal. I will analyze the game for my friend, and in return, he will make a video that I've wanted to see from him for a long time. I can't tell you who the friend is, what game I'm analyzing, or what video he will have to make, as any of that information could give away his identity. The two of us would prefer to keep these videos a surprise, but I felt this was an interesting enough little teaser to leave you with. The second idea I had was to make an analysis on Sonic Boom: Rise of Lyric. If you've been in the loop at all, you know this game hasn't been getting the best reception online recently. But I haven't played it myself, so I don't know if I think it's good or not. I want to play it myself because if I like it, I might be able to give my own unique perspective in spite of the controversy, which fits my criteria for analyses perfectly. However, if it turns out I don't like the game, then it gives me the chance to analyze a topic in a completely different way. I don't know if anyone has noticed this or not, but in the vast majority of my analyses from this year, I've been overwhelmingly positive. I seem to have almost nothing but positive things to say about the topic. I do enjoy acknowledging the good in the mediums I discuss, but it's starting to get a little redundant when I have nothing but good things to say about a game every single time. I would like to try analyzing something that I don't 100% enjoy. I want to try my hand at offering fair yet justified criticism on a topic through an analysis. And even if I end up only doing this once, I can at least say I tried something new. Sonic Boom could very well be the game I need to experiment with. Now that's not saying I'm going to analyze it just so I can trash it and say that I finally did a negative analysis. I'm going to be fair all the same, but I am hoping that I can find criticisms to offer to the game in a way that is different from any of the previous analyses I've done. That said, I'm not going to spend $60 on a game I'm not sure I'm going to enjoy necessarily. But if I can sign up for GameFly and find time to rent the game for cheap money and play it, then I'll definitely give Sonic Boom a go. This is an idea I've had sitting in the back of my head all year long, but I never got around to actually working on it. The Pokemon anime was a huge part of my childhood, and even though I quote-unquote grew out of it during my angsty teenage years, I found myself getting back into the series recently thanks to the X and Y season. I've been thinking of paying tribute to the season of the anime that I have the fondest memories with, the Indigo League. I want to discuss 10 of my favorite episodes and why I still love them today even as an adult. That's not to say that I think that any of the later seasons weren't any good, and the early episodes of Pokemon certainly have their flaws and are by no means perfect. But I'm not trying to say that they are. I just really personally love the first season of Pokemon, and I'm talking about something that I love. Isn't that the reason I make videos in the first place? The only major hurdle is that I probably won't be able to use actual footage of the episodes due to copyright. But as long as you have my commentary, isn't that all you're really watching the video for anyway? I can't say for sure when I'll be able to start working on this project, but hopefully it'll be done sometime between January and February. I want to make sure I have time to sit down and rewatch the episodes again to gather my thoughts and get the list done before my next semester of college starts, because if I don't get it done before then, this video will probably be shoved back into the corner of my mind for an entire year once again. And I don't want to have to discuss this video again for my video for 2016. Like the Pokemon list, this is another idea I've had marinating in my brain for the past year or so. Avatar is one of my favorite cartoons of all time. No questions asked. I've wanted to make some kind of video discussing it for years, but I never could decide what. I determined that one of my favorite aspects of the show is the drama. I love how powerful the emotional moments are, and how beautifully they shape the story together. So, why not make a countdown of my favorite moments? Like the Pokemon list, I wouldn't be able to show actual footage of the scenes due to copyright, but that's okay. What I'm really hoping to do is analyze these scenes one at a time and discuss why I personally think they're so great. Not sure when I'll get this one done, but I just really hope that I can actually manage to put it together. I'm too proud of it to just let it slip away unnoticed. Out of everything I've discussed here, Brawlmaster Unscripted is the segment I'm the most confident will be returning. It's fun to answer silly or serious questions, it's easy to make since I don't have to write a script and the editing isn't too rigorous, it gets you guys involved, and as long as people keep sending in questions, I have something to talk about. Plus this allows me to give my thoughts on topics that I wouldn't normally do in a whole separate video. My major goal with Unscripted in the next year is to put them out more consistently. I felt I took too long between parts to get them done, and I wanted to post more consistently with them. Not sure if I can do a bi-weekly thing or anything, but I would like to not have a 3-month gap between 2 segments. So keep sending in those questions and I'll do my best to keep providing entertaining answers. I may not be able to make a full analysis on Smash Wii U, and the time for speculation is probably over, but I have been wanting to share footage of funny or awesome moments I've experienced while playing the game with my YouTube audience. Every time a new patch comes out, the gameplay changes sometimes render replays unplayable, and I don't want to lose those moments. So I'm giving serious consideration towards investing in a capture card so I can record what I have and post it on YouTube. I might also upload matches I've had with friends and whatnot. Now, don't get too excited because I don't know for sure that I'll find a capture card that I like and can work with. I don't know if I'll encounter any sort of problems or roadblocks, so I don't want to promise that I'll be starting to upload Smash Wii U footage next year, but this is definitely something I want to do, and I'll do everything in my power to make it happen. If all goes well, I hope you'll look forward to it. What I have saved for last is by far the biggest and most ambitious thing I've probably ever done. I mentioned this briefly in a previous Unscripted video, but I'd like to go into a little more detail here. Project Kanto is my next big story I've been writing and working on for 2 years, and I'm still nowhere close to being done with. I don't know when for sure I'll be done writing it, but it probably won't be for a long time. Heck, I can't promise that I'll have it all wrapped up and finished this next coming year, depending on how my schedule looks. I'm constantly going back and changing or rewriting scenes and sections because I want this story to be the best it can be. The premise is basically this. It's a Pokemon fanfiction, but at the same time, it's not. It uses a lot of characters and settings established in the anime, but it does not follow the anime's continuity at all. The tone is much darker, some characters have relationships to one another that are not present in the anime, and so many changes are made to the traditional formula that this almost isn't even Pokemon anymore. But I'm not changing so much just for the sake of it being different. I just have a vastly different story to tell, and I'm feeling really good about it, so I want to share it with the world. I'm still trying to capture the heart of what makes Pokemon so great, but in a vastly different and unique way. Some people might like it, some might not, and that's okay. I just want to tell my story, and I hope at least some people will find enjoyment in it. Project Kanto is essentially a trilogy, and the first book is pretty much done. I'm still hard at work writing the second book, and will most likely be at it for a while because book 2 is the longest and most plot-heavy, with the third book centering on the climax, winding down to the conclusion, and tying up loose ends. The major problem I've been encountering is drumming up interest around this story. I'm trying to make it the best it can be by getting as much feedback and constructive criticism as I can, but I have yet to find anyone who really seems that interested in helping me out. I've posted a few chapters of book 1 to my DeviantArt page, but have gotten so little response that I just sort of stopped posting for a while. I'm really not trying to force this project on people, but I really want this to be something special and entertaining, and I simply cannot do that by myself. What I really want when I finish writing these 3 books and getting them posted is to narrate them, kind of like I did with the Bradley story. But since the story has dialogue, instead of voicing all of the characters myself, because I'm terrible at impressions, I want to find other people to voice the characters and really bring their personalities to life in ways that I can't do by myself. I want to make this sort of a group thing, you know, get other people involved. There are a lot of characters in this story, so I'm aware that this is a pretty tall order to ask, and I'm not trying to get it done right away. This is a gradual and a long-term project. But the bottom line is that if I want voice actors to help me really present Project Kanto in a way that is entertaining and exciting, I need to find people who really enjoy the story and are willing to help me support it. I need a lot of people to help me support the story, and that can't happen if people don't read it. Now, if you have absolutely no interest in reading Project Kanto, that's perfectly fine. I will not at all force you to read it. I will just keep working hard to write it to the best of my ability. All I'm looking for right now is for some people who are genuinely interested in the story and are willing to help me make changes or improvements to it to really make it something special. I want to emphasize, however, that this is not an immediate project starting after this video. I'm not officially holding auditions or casting for characters or anything like that. I haven't even finished writing the entire story. I have the entire plot all up here in my head, I just have to get it down on paper first. This is all a gradual process. When the story is done, and if it ever gets enough attention, then I will start thinking about turning into a narration, and then I will start planning to hold auditions for characters and whatnot. But as of right now, all I'm looking for is people who are willing to give me feedback as I post new chapters. I can start posting more chapters that I have finished, but I need to get some sort of response on how I'm doing. You know, how's my grammar and punctuation? Did I misspell any words? What do you think of this scene or this sentence? How well did I describe it? Did you have any trouble understanding what was going on? Was there anything that was really confusing that you think I could clarify somehow at that point? Really, anything you have to say, I want to hear. If you really want to be that guy and say my story sucks, there's nothing I can do to stop you, I guess, but that doesn't help me at all. That doesn't help me change anything. If you don't like something, then explain to me specifically what you don't like and why, and I will do everything I can to make it better and more appealing. Now, if you want to help out, don't just say, nice job, or I liked that scene. I appreciate the compliments, really, I do, but that doesn't help me very much. What did I do that you liked? What was good about it? I want to know what my strengths are so I can keep it up throughout the entire writing process. Again, this is a huge project, and I need a lot of involvement and support. You don't have to be there writing comments every step of the way, but the more feedback I get, the more changes I can make, and the better I can make the story. Even if you don't have any feedback to leave, if you could spread the word about my story, you know, share it around, show it to your friends, tell them about it, tell them to spread the word, and just help me get this project noticed, I would greatly appreciate it. I really want Project Kanto to be a huge, exciting achievement for my channel. I'm getting older, my personal life is getting more demanding, and I really don't know how much longer I have to keep posting videos like this. There might very well come a day when I have to retire from YouTube, and if that comes, I want to go out with a bang. I want to do something big, something people will remember fondly. I really do believe that Project Kanto could be that big achievement I've been looking for. But I can't do this alone. This is a team effort. I want this to be just as much your creation as it is mine. If you need any more information about Project Kanto, please check out my DeviantArt page. I have a link to it in the description. There you can read what I have posted so far, and I posted a journal entry with more basic information on what the story is about. You can leave any questions you have and I will answer them to the best of my ability. So come on guys, I really need your help here now more than ever. Let's turn Project Kanto from an obscure, edgy little fanfic into something we can all be proud of. And if Project Kanto gets enough attention, I could make it worth your while, like, say, oh, I don't know, maybe singing another theme song? Eh? Something to think about.